In a place where the lush forests and vast savannas of Africa intersect, there was a village known as the Red Lands. This village took its name from the red color of the surrounding lands. It was believed that this color of the soil was a gift from the Red Earth Spirit, one of the village's guardian spirits. The village people lived with a deep respect for nature and its spirits. This respect was a legacy passed down from generation to generation and was an integral part of the daily life of the village. The village of Red Lands had a history dating back hundreds of years. The forest surrounding the village had hosted countless generations. Deep in the forest, there were mysterious caves, magical ponds, and ancient trees from ancient times. The village people showed great respect to these places and considered them sacred. During annual festivals, village people would gather in these sacred places and pray to nature and their ancestors. Adama was the bravest and hardest working young girl of this village. His devotion to nature and his love for his people were known to everyone. She would wake up early in the morning, fetch water from the river, work in the fields and help the elderly. Adama's energy and determination made everyone in the village admire him. But what Adama loved most was telling stories to the children of the village. She would tell them the legends of the village, heroic stories, and the mysteries of nature. Adama's stories kept the village's culture and values alive. Adama's family were also respected people in the village. His father, Kofi, was one of the village's best hunters, and his mother, Nia, was an expert in medicinal herbs. Kofi was an expert at hunting and would often go on long hunting trips to feed the village people. He was not only a hunter, but also a protector who ensured the safety of the village. His mother, Nia, spoke the language of plants and healed patients with herbs. Nia took care of the health of everyone in the village and saved many lives with the medicines she made from plants. Adama grew up inspired by these strong roots and devoted himself to the good of the village. His father taught him about hunting, and his mother taught him about medicinal plants. Using this knowledge, Adama used to do both hunting and healing in the village. Adama won everyone's heart with his devotion to nature and his love for his people. Another important characteristic of Adama was his relationship with the children in the village. By teaching them the history of nature and the village, he would ensure that future generations would have the same values. Life in the Red Lands village was spent in harmony and balance, intertwined with nature. With the first light of the morning, life began on the streets of the village. People set about their daily tasks, they worked in the fields, by the river, and in the forest women would sing songs while working in the fields, and men would go deep into the forest to hunt. Children would play games around the village and listen to the stories Adama told. One day, dark shadows fell over the village. Foreigners had come to usurp the natural resources of the village and to scare the village people. These aliens were equipped with large machines and weapons. The metals and machines they carried from where they came from posed a great threat to the village people. The village leader immediately realized that the strangers had malicious intentions and began making plans to defend the village. But this wouldn't be easy. The foreigners were determined to seize the natural resources of the village. The arrival of strangers caused great panic in the village. Their big machines and noisy engines frightened the village people. The strangers coveted the village's precious resources, clean water sources, fertile soil, and medicinal plants. Amori, the leader of the village, realized that the strangers posed a great threat to the future of the village. Amori was a wise leader respected by everyone in the village. With years of experience, he thought about what strategy he would develop against foreigners. Adama did not accept the fate of his village. With his courage and cunning, he decided to stand against the strangers. Late at night, he learned old war tactics by talking to Birj Nana, the oldest person in the village. This old man talked about the village's past wars and old tactics. Using wise Nana's wisdom, Adama created a defense plan. In the morning, he gathered the village people and told them his plan to resist. Everyone accepted Adama's leadership. The village people trusted Adama's plans and were ready to unite under his leadership. Adama adapted the battle tactics he learned from the village elder to the modern situation. He thought about how old traps and strategies could be used against new enemies. He created a defense line using natural obstacles around the village. Rivers, forests, and cliffs were determined as strategic points. Adama strengthened these defense lines by working day and night with the men and women of the village. Everyone worked under Adama's leadership to strengthen the village's defenses. Adama was not alone. From the depths of the village, a supernatural being appeared and granted him power. This being was an ancient spirit who was the guardian of the village. In the old stories told in the village, it was said that the Red Earth Spirit protected the village and helped when needed. This spirit showed Adama how to become powerful in harmony with the natural world and how to use these powers against outsiders. In the sacred precinct of the village, Adama listened to the spirit's teachings and gained strength. The Red Earth Spirit taught Adama how to wield the power of nature. Adama learned to use the branches of the trees, the power of the wind and the hardness of the soil as weapons against strangers. The spirit taught Adam the language of nature. Using this new information, Adama developed plans to defend the village. He patrolled the perimeter of the village during the night, allowing nature itself to be protected. The teachings of the Red Earth Spirit gave Adama great strength and confidence. Adama was no longer just a brave young girl, but also a warrior who could control the power of nature. The village people watched Adama's new abilities with admiration. Under Adama's leadership, the village people became more motivated and devoted themselves to defense preparations. Adama's ability to use supernatural powers further strengthened the village's defenses. As Adama put the Red Earth Spirit's teachings into practice, he began to learn how to channel the power of nature. The roots of the trees blocked the paths of the strangers, making it difficult for them to progress. The wind tossed the strangers' camps, making them restless. The land absorbed the aliens' machines, neutralizing them. These strategic moves of Adama further strengthened the resistance of the village people against the foreigners. But the foreigners did not give up. They sent spies to find out Adama's plans. A traitor in the village cooperated with the strangers and leaked Adama's plans to them. Adama was greatly disappointed when he learned who the traitor was, but this did not discourage him. Learning who the traitor was taught Adama a lesson: the enemy could be inside, not just outside. The spies were caught and the village people were shown who the traitors were. Despite the traitors, Adama continued to implement his plan. He was determined to defend his village by using the powers of nature, with the powers offered by the supernatural being. He used the branches of the trees and the power of the wind as a weapon against strangers. Every night, he patrolled the perimeter of the village and allowed nature itself to be protected. The fact that the traitor was a member of the village shook the village people deeply. But Adama reminded them of the importance of being united and trusting each other. Adama restored trust in the village to minimize the traitor's influence. Everyone united again under Adama's leadership and strengthened their resistance against the foreigners. Adama increased security in the village after learning the identity of the traitor. The spies were captured while trying to explore the village's defense lines and were tried in the village square. Adama explained to the people of the village who the traitors were and ensured that justice was served. This incident restored the village people's trust in each other. After learning who the traitor was, Adama further strengthened the defensive arrangements in the village. Everyone bonded around Adama, trusting each other more. Although the outsiders feared Adama's power, they decided to mount a final attack. The village leader and his people prepared for a last stand under Adama's leadership. In the sacred area of the village, Adama again remembered the teachings of the spirit and merged with the forces of nature. The power and knowledge given by the spirit gave Adama great confidence. When the war began, nature fought on Adama's side. Trees blocked the paths of strangers, the wind neutralized their weapons, and the earth swallowed up their machinery. The foreigners were forced to retreat, unable to resist the power of nature. This war was won by the unity of the village people and the power of nature. Adama was found in every corner of the village during the war. His leadership and courage inspired the village people. Using the powers of nature, Adama stunned the outsiders. Thanks to him, the village people gained superiority over the foreigners. The strangers were forced to flee, unable to resist the power of nature and Adama. Even in the harshest moments of the war, Adama fought against the outsiders, relying on the power of nature. His supernatural abilities offset the aliens' technological superiority. The trees acted like a wall protecting the village's boundaries. The wind neutralized the foreigners' weapons. The land swallowed the aliens' machines, leaving them defenseless. These strategic uses of Adama enabled the village to achieve victory. In the end, Adama emerged victorious. He protected the village with his supernatural help and courage. The outsiders retreated, fearful of Adama's power. The village people showed their gratitude to Adama. Adama's story showed how important courage and cunning are, and how his ability grows in power. Adama's victory became a source of hope and inspiration for the village people. They protected the nature in Adama's dominions and continued to pass it on to future generations. Adama continued to tell stories to the children of the village, but now among the most stories was his own story. Adama's story can help the people of the village find courage and ways to live in harmony with nature. Following the victory, Adama became one of the leaders of his village. His wisdom and courage shaped the population of the village. Adama developed projects to increase the welfare of his village. Farming methods were improved, water resources were protected, and village people were given new skills. He noted that under Adama's rule, the village had made great strides in terms of both security and prosperity. Adama kept in constant communication with the spirits of nature to keep his village safe. He listened to what they heard and conveyed it to the village people. The village continued to respect the spirits of nature and live in direct harmony. Adama's story became a legend in the village and continued to be told for generations. During Adama's reign, there were great changes in the village. The village's farming methods were modernized and made more efficient. Water resources were protected and saved more effectively with new irrigation techniques. Adama provided education to the young people in the village, enabling them to learn about nature and the culture of the village. These initiatives by Adama ensure that the village is sustainable in a long-lasting manner. And that's how the story of Daughter of the Red Lands ended. The riches and beauties of Africa come from its porosity and harmony with nature. It is our duty to protect and share it. Adama's story reminds us of what these values and living in harmony with nature are. One of us must find it, our own Adama, and fulfill our duty to protect nature.